Emotional damage. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre.
Man, oh man. I'm back at it with another video. Charleston White. I've been trying to avoid this, just even addressing this character, right? But ladies and gentlemen, look up at your screen. For some reason, this particular gentleman warrants a lot of attention all throughout social media. Just take a gander at this.
How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre.
Now, I know a lot of y'all from the inner city know when you see somebody jonesing and straight up tweaking out here. I mean, straight up tweaking. It ain't hard to tell if you got any discernment of what you're dealing with, right? Now, Charleston White is in the news right now. He's trending because he did an interview on Say Cheese TV, and he's making comments about IUIC, Israel United in Christ, and these guys marching to the Barclays Center. Some of the things he said in that interview, I agree with. Some things I definitely disagree with. But the reason why I really want to put this dude on blast, because he's been habitually disrespectful to Israelites in general. And I got the receipts, and I'm going to pull that up to show you that this has been going on for quite some time, that he's been looking for the attention from Israelites for whatever reason. And it's been distasteful, and it's about time that we divide the lines in the sand between who is who and what is what, because it seems like most people have chose barbarous over the truth. Most people have chose entertainment, sensationalism, the shock jocks over real knowledge, and that's an issue. And he's been just habitually disrespectful altogether. And there's no other quote unquote religious belief that you can just continue to disrespect a person's belief system and just continue to get away with it. Listen, Islam ain't letting you get away with that. Hell, some Christians not going to let you get away with just disrespecting what their beliefs are, right? So I think it has to come a time where, I speak my mind in regards to the situation. I've seen multiple people doing videos. Shout out to Inside the Nation Radio. They done a video. They labeled them Clown of the Week. There's quite a few platforms that is speaking on this guy and how it seemed like we going from Hebrews to ninjas. That's what it seemed like. We going from Hebrews to ninjas instead of Hebrews to Negroes, because this is what people flock towards and this is what people gravitate towards. I think I need to blow the screen up for you one more time so you can see what the people is flocking and gravitating towards. Just get a good gander. Just get a good gander. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is what the people want, right? Man, if y'all can't see what this is, I don't know, right? But I want to go into some of the things that was said, right? Before I get into the Say Cheese interview, which I'll do a breakdown on that as well. But let me get into some of the things that was said even beforehand. And it's been going on for too long now. And it's at a point where, come on now, bro. All right, so let me share my screen with y'all. And this is Charleston White some time ago. I believe this was approximately over a year ago.
Nothing no more. I'm sick of reading. Emoji me. Yeah, nigga, here. You can't give me no Hebrew emoji, so fuck you. Nigga, yeah, emoji me talking to me, nigga. Fuck all that shit. Yeah, nigga, I got to read in Hebrew. Thou or I got to understand the curse. Nigga, I'm not claiming no motherfucking curse. I wouldn't even hear a nigga, fuck I do to God to be cursed. Yeah.
Now listen, let's make this clear, man. For those who don't know, when you read the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, there's curses if you don't follow God's laws that will be passed down from generation to generation. Right? Now, because we didn't honor God's law, statutes, and commandments, our people suffered the transatlantic slave trade, persecution. We've been disenfranchised all across the world, spread abroad. You know, the nations were able to come together under crafty counsel and pretty much say, listen, let's make it so the children of Israel are no longer in remembrance. And this was only because we didn't honor our God. So we were pretty much being punished by our Father in heaven, our Creator. And we still being punished. Everything that you see right now is because we're suffering the curses. But there's also blessings. If we honor God's laws, we will be the head and not the tail. We will be the lender and not the borrower. We will be on top and not at the bottom, right? So individually, we have a choice to keep God's laws, you know? And if you're going to dishonor God's laws and continue to eat the swine's flesh, celebrate the pagan holidays, be drunkards, be wine bibbers, be drug addicts, be all of these, you know, be whoremongers and wicked men and wicked women, what's going to happen is you're going to still suffer the curses. You're going to get gout. You're going to lose your life at an early age. You're going to suffer the curses regardless, even though we're in modern times, right? Now, let's continue.
Fuck that God shit. There ain't no motherfucking thing to God. Holler about we done something 2,000 years ago. Nigga, you ain't done nothing 2,000 years ago talking about we curse, we the Hebrew.
So he said, F God. He came straight up with straight blasphemy. Listen, there's a lot of people in that chat that's really gravitating towards this ignorance, which proves exactly what the scriptures tell us, man. Proves exactly what it tells us. Zechariah 13 and 8 says, and it shall come to pass that in the land, all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So 2/3 of our people ain't going to make it. 2/3 of our people are going to follow this wicked, perverse generation. 2/3 of our people are going to follow this ignorance. They're going to cleave to this nonsense out of the sense of entertainment. All of these laughing emojis about your history, disrespecting your God, disrespecting your background and your culture, disrespecting your entire heritage. And you're laughing at your own damn calamity. You're laughing at your own downfall because you think this dude is funny, right? You think this dude is entertaining. So you entertain this nonsense, and it's really not a joking matter, right? It just is what it is. Everybody want to know where my stance is on this guy. This is what it is, right? All right, let's continue.
We the lost 12 tribes. I ain't lost by shit. Nigga, everything I ever wanted to be in life, I grew up and became it, nigga. Emotional damage.
You got to be kidding me, bro. Now, if what you wanted to become is a shock jock who blasphemies the Most High and disrespects your people and their culture and their heritage, then you damn well have became that. All right. Now, to be totally frank with you, this is more than likely what Charleston White wants from people. I see so many platforms addressing this guy. He came right out his own mouth and said that he wanted an acting deal, that he was playing a character, that, you know, he took certain, I would say, traits from OGs within his community, and he mimicked himself after these individuals. So he's going to say whatever to get the attention. The only reason we're feeding into it somewhat is because now you're crossing lines. You're disrespecting people's beliefs, and you're becoming a hindrance to people who are searching for truth. Instead of using your platform to allow people to come into some level of their background so they can get off the streets, so they can stop getting into the demonic music industry and actually find something such as their identity, you're leading them astray trying to entertain them, which is going to keep them in the streets. So you're being double-minded. In one breath, you're speaking against the rappers, you're speaking about what's going on, not understanding that what's going on in the streets is a product of these curses. And until our people find out who we are, we're going to continue to suffer those very same curses. And all of that blasphemy, Most High sees it straight up.
Fuck you talking about? Nigga, I go back to pimping before I go to Hebrew. Yeah.
Now you see he's mocking. He'll go back to pimping before he go back to Hebrew, right? Now the pimp is one of the worst things in our community. Instead of honoring God's law, statutes, and commandments, pimping is the worst thing that you can be. He'll rather go to that. Now this is the individual that I just seen in a video running prostitutes off the streets, threatening to call the police. This is an individual who talks about the drug dealers, the rappers, saying that he would rather be a pimp, a male witch, a wizard who practiced the art of manipulation towards women. He'd rather be that than peel this book open and read from the book and learn the word and follow God's laws, right? He'd rather be a damn pimp. What them scriptures say? James 1:26 says, if any man among you seem, that's the wrong scripture. That's let's go to Proverbs 1:7. Let's get that. Let's get it. Let's go. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. You're dealing with a fool, because he would rather go to the streets. He would rather produce anarchy. He would rather promote a wicked lifestyle, right, than get instruction from the Bible. That makes him this makes him a fool. You're looking at a circus clown. You are looking at a court gesture. Nothing more, nothing less. A fool.
Yeah, no, nigga say, do it. I go back to pimping before I go to Hebrew. Yeah, no, nigga, Hebrew niggas don't get a bunch of pussy. Hebrew niggas ain't pulling out a bankroll in their pocket. Hebrew niggas ain't jumping out of them foreign motherfucking.
And this is the guy that's supposed to go against the rappers. Are we serious? Is this serious right here? The scriptures tell us. Galatians 6:7 says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Oh, do not be fooled. Trust and believe. Whatever you sow, whatever you speak, whatever you plant, you're going to reap it. It's going to come back around full circle. And this man's mouth is profane. And the Most High God sees all of what he's doing. And it's only a matter of time. You just got to sit back and watch. Oh, because the Most High is going to put on the show. The Most High is going to show us something. And I'm telling you, he's making a huge mistake disrespecting Israelites. It's a huge mistake. Huge mistake.
Car, nigga getting plenty hoes eyes and knocking holes by listening. No, I don't want to be no Hebrew nigga. Them no nigga, please. Yeah, nigga, you. One last time you seen a Hebrew nigga dunk from the free throw line? No.
Kyrie Irving, to answer your question, what is this guy talking about? The whole entire NBA, sir. The whole entire NBA. When the last time you saw a Hebrew dunk from the free throw, do you realize that the entire NBA is pretty much made up of Hebrews? See, this is what people don't realize. This is not a religion, brothers and sisters. An Israelite is a nationality. We come through the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When we was put over here, placed on cargo slave ships, brung over to this land to serve, our bloodline didn't die. We still the people of the book. And that's in those scriptures, it said Christ had hair of wool and skin of bronze. This is our nationality. I don't care about any of these camps, any of these groups. None of those things matter. This is our nationality, bloodline, right? We are the original people of the book. The Most High God chose us above many, many nations to be a royal priesthood, a peculiar people. The Bible tells us that Israel is the salt of the earth, meaning we will be the flavor of the earth. It won't be no NFL, won't be no industry either. I'm talking about music industry. Wouldn't be no Hollywood, wouldn't be nothing without the salt of the earth. Imagine a world with no flavor. We the children of Israel, the Bible speaks of. We are the salt of the earth. Without us, there's nothing. Straight like that.
No, nigga ain't now in Hebrew, nigga can't. Show me a Hebrew nigga that run faster than Carl Lewis. No, nigga, in mighty fact, a Hebrew nigga done read white boy books. Yeah, that's a nigga done went and read, nigga, fuck a Hebrew, fuck a Jew.
So you see the disrespect right there. The disrespect. F a Hebrew, huh? Let me tell you something. And I'm going to say this, bold as ever. Charleston White's days are numbered. Do you understand me? His days are numbered. Because of his blasphemy. Because he's going against the Most High. And we done seen many come and many go. Based on their blasphemy. Based on the division of the saints. Based on causing disruptions from people actually waking up to this truth. The Most High God will end up removing this person. Understand that. Because of his disrespect. He'll be removed. Straight like that. Now the scriptures tell us. It tells us straight up in Luke 16:13. No servant can serve two masters, for he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. If you don't believe in the Most High, if you're not serving the Most High, then guess what? You ain't entering the kingdom and you ain't no freedom fighter for nobody. Because what's going to end up happening is your message going to get tainted because you're going to be seeking the money. You cannot love God and mammon. This will end up happening to a lot of these damn shock jocks and weirdos and these content creators. They start getting a little piece of these checks and they start hating God. Literally, they hate God. The Bible tells you straight up, they're going to love one and hate the other. The reason why he's mocking the way he is, because he hates God. He knows that he's getting to the bag. He's getting on all these shows. They're booking him for comedy shows. He's doing tours. He's going on all these shows. And we're supposed to look at this individual as some type of I don't know, philanthropist. We're supposed to look at him as some type of freedom fighter. God forbid. God forbid. That man chasing a bag. Y'all should get it by now.
Yeah, and fuck you too, nigga, with that new shit. Nah, that's some new shit. That's some new private school shit. Nigga went to a motherfucking white.
All right, so I'm going to the video with Say Cheese because this man's mouth is too foul, it's too profane. And I ain't trying to disrupt the actual video because of what he's saying. The man can't even articulate, right? But anyway. The Say Cheese interview that a lot of individuals is reacting to. I've seen a lot of reactions on this. I want to react to it as well. And the title of this video is Charleston White Goes In on Hebrew Israelites for showing up to the Barclays Center and pretty much not doing no damage, right? Let's talk about it, right? Because I've been on record saying that I disagree with IUIC showing up to the Barclays Center, and I want to share further sentiments on this particular issue. Let's go.
Oh shit, man. Here we go, man. We're back with another one. And we got Charleston White in the building, man. How you doing?
They keep saying somebody else is better than me and you, but nigga, we Shaq and Kobe and Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah, it's all love. You know, in each interview, you're different.
Yeah, I told him you getting Rat Williams today. Ain't no Charleston White today, nigga. You getting Rat Williams, the comedian. I'm showing my ass the whole interview.
So listen, we gotta understand this man's playing a character. He's always playing a character. He's trying to get to the bag. He made that known. You know, our people are naturally going to take this serious because he has a platform. He told you off the break that he plays characters. The man is an actor, all right? It is what it is. He's doing what he's doing to get to the check. He's an actor. That should be plain as day to most people, right? We really shouldn't even take this dude serious. But unfortunately, in this time, there's a lot of impressionable minds. And a lot of people do take this man serious, right? Yep. Thanks for the scripture and the $5 super chat. It says Proverbs 29:11. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it till afterwards. Absolutely. Facts.
So you're fed up with the Hebrews.
Yeah.
They came to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
After Kyrie was banned. And they stood outside. It was probably like 200-300 of them.
What they do? Just stood there?
From that video, yeah.
Yeah. They wasted everybody's time, including theirs. Just standing there with matching skirts and dresses, that don't do nothing, homie.
Now, let me stop it here. Now, I'm on record telling y'all that I disagreed with IUIC going out there marching. I felt like it was vain. I felt like they were trying to be seen by men. I felt like it just wasn't a good look because Kyrie Irving himself, he's proclaimed publicly that he believes in every religion. All right. He publicly said he believes in every religion, and he's pretty much searching. I think that as an Israelite community, if that's a thing, if that exists, that you should be courting these particular artists, athletes, and anybody else who claim anything regarding Israel in public before you march on their behalf. I feel like it should be done just like the Nation of Islam. Instead of supporting certain artists, not understanding their circumstances, not understanding what team they play for or what type of legal obligations they have to their respective contracts that they sign, whether it be Hollywood or NBA, NFL, whatever the case may be. I feel like there should be a sit down with these particular camps behind the scenes before you go out there and you start marching on their behalf. Because what end up happening is they get a seal of approval in our community, and they can be double agents. They can be pretty much control opposition, and it's just a bad look. You have to do, I feel like these camps, before they shouting out and allowing these entertainers to validate us as a nation or validate our belief system, maybe they should have conversations with them first, because it just looked bad. In my opinion, it looked bad. Now, to some people like to see the unity. People like to see these brothers marching. It is what it is. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Personally, I'm not really impressed by that. I do realize that a lot of these camps, they're under 501c3s. They have certain things that's funded, whether it be marches, whether it be, certain gatherings they have. And I'm just not with it. All right. I'm not with any camp, but I do understand that I'm a child of Israel. I'm an Israelite. I just don't deal with any camps. Right. But all in all, I'm not going to disrespect them. I just have a difference of opinion with what they did. Right.
They didn't disrupt the NBA. They didn't impede traffic. They didn't block no doors. They didn't slap no white woman.
See, this right here. This is the ultimate Fed move right here. I don't care what nobody say. This is the ultimate Fed move he doing right now. Straight up. This is straight Fed tactics right here. This remind me of Grandmaster Jay from the NFAC trying to get people all out there doing something that's going to jeopardize the entire community. Like, this is a Fed move. Why would you try to like provoke Israelites doing something illegal when we still have the right to protest? We have the right to protest. Why would you promote them doing something that's detrimental to label all of us? It's like you want all of us to look like terrorists. Don't you know IUIC already on the list from the Southern Poverty Law Center as being extremists? Don't you know when they see us together in any form or fashion, we already demonize and label extremists? Why would you try to promote that, bro? That's literally some Fed, like you trying to instigate mass incarceration of our people. It's a Fed move. It's a weak move. Like, what are you on? What are you up to? Like, what are you doing out here? For real, like, what are you doing? This is straight snitch creep move. This is a snitch ass creep move. This is a creep move. Seriously. A straight creep move. That's a weirdo move, bro. Ain't nobody going out there doing all that, man. You got to be kidding me. Let's go.
They didn't snatch nobody purse.
Now, why would all of these grown men be out here snatching people's purses? This is foolish. But this is what the people want. Y'all want the 2/3. This is what y'all want for leadership.
They didn't vandalize no car. Them niggas didn't do nothing but go stand there. So what's that for? That's a dog and pony show. Yeah, that was a show of a bunch of weak black men in America, homie.
Now, I would not jump out and call IUIC a bunch of weak black men, but I will agree with the fact that I personally feel like it is a dog and pony show. I'm not, like I said, I'm gonna shoot this thing straight down the middle, right? I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't see the validity of it. I don't know everything though, because there's a few things that transpired after they marched that if you look at it in hindsight, it does go in line with purpose. There were certain doors of opportunity open to go on certain TV shows because they showed their presence. They end up going on Jason Whitlock, and him having them also opened up other opportunities for other Israelites to come forth and get on his platform. A man who was once a nationally syndicated publication. That's something. So regardless of how I feel about what they did, it still opened up certain doors of opportunity for other people who are in the Israelite belief to actually have a platform. So at the end of the day, although I believe that IUIC was clout chasing, I felt like they was capping when they was talking about it was thousands of Jewish people pulling up in vans. I thought that was cap, because you can't sit up here and tell me it was thousands of Jewish people pulling up in vans and nobody has any cell phone footage. I just don't believe that. You can't tell me anything. All right. That just doesn't work for me. But at the same time, I do know when it comes to purpose, certain doors was open because they were out there. Now, it is what it is. The question is, who is Charleston White to be speaking on the affairs of what goes on in the Israelite community? Who is he? Let's continue.
Who read a bunch of books, but the books and the knowledge that they read, it don't manifest in none of their lives.
How doesn't the knowledge manifest in none of their lives when you got brothers who was literally delivered? You got brothers who came out of the penitentiary, got their lives on the right track. Some of those brothers within IUIC or whatever other camp. These brothers are former inmates, former felons and criminals. These are, and Listen, even people who found my channel, you know, they didn't change their lives around by tapping into that book, reading the scriptures. How could you say that nothing manifested in their lives if they had? You got brothers out here who was on their deathbeds, bro, who been delivered. You got brothers who came out the streets and been through the worst, and they got out of that situation because they opened that book and started to read. And this guy wouldn't disrespect he wouldn't disrespect the Muslims in the pen who didn't made it out and transformed their life. Like, this is disrespectful on many levels. And how could you call these brothers weak when, I mean, what labels them weak? Because they reading books? Because they opening up the scriptures and reading? What labels these men weak? I thought you want them off the streets with their head in the books, learning. This don't make no sense, bro. Shauna L., thank you for the $50 contribution. She says, keep bringing it, fam. You are important to this awakening and much appreciated. Thank you so much, Shauna L. I appreciate the support. Absolutely.
They talk that Hebrew, we this, we that. Show us, nigga. Stop making movies. Stop sounding poetic and intelligent. Come show us who we are. Tired of motherfuckers telling us who we are. Because based on our actions, we ain't none of that.
Now, I don't understand what he mean by come show me who you are. Listen, you're going to have to read a book, my man, to understand. What are we talking about here? What do you think the Israelites are doing? What do you think we doing when we making this content, opening these scriptures, showing people the word, going into the history of who we are? What do you think we doing? We're showing the people who we are. You want us to show the people who we are about doing what? Snatching white women's purses? Now, how does that show the people who we are? That makes no damn sense, sir. What that would show the people is that we a bunch of ninjas like you. You just really gotta laugh this stuff off. This man tweaking, bro.
Shit they talking, my nigga. We ain't none of that shit they talking. And I don't want to be a part of nothing that cursed me 2,000 years ago, as good as my mother was, homie. Emotional damage.
Let me tell you something. A lot of the 2/3 are really hurt. They're seeking for something. They're looking for something. Like, they want answers. You can tell that they scorn, man. And here's the thing. The scriptures come with curses and blessings. You understand? So don't blaspheme the Most High, bro. Because clearly something is lacking when you feel the need to attack people who minding their business. And I'm going to tell you like this. Most people in this truth, we know how to mind our tongue. We operate in wisdom. We don't be all the way out there like that. Like, we'll mind our business. This dude has been an habitual offender of the faith, habitually disrespecting brothers. We don't, listen, we have discipline. So you have to be hurt somewhere where you keep on poking the bear, where you keep on bothering people who ain't bothering you. Well, people who are, you clearly don't have the peace of mind that you're supposed to have. If you constantly targeting a group of people who are just trying to keep God's laws. And that's the world we living in. You're going to have a lot of these 2/3 in y'all's everyday life trying to target y'all. You can be in an environment, minding your business, doing your job. You just keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And it's always that individual around you that's throwing subliminal shots, that's trying to trigger you, trying to say things to offend what you believe, you know, whether it be what you like to eat or not eat. You know, you're going to have these individuals, they like roaches. They just come in the most inopportune moment, right? And they just dare to be a pest in your life, a thorn in your side. That's what the 2/3 are. It's like they want to engage you head on, but they trying to trigger you. They want you to give them some energy. Now, a lot of the brothers in the community, they've been speaking on them. So I said, you know what? It's time. I seen somebody in the chat say, Breed, it was only a matter of time for you made a video about this guy. Yeah, it's time now. I waited. I sat back for a long time. I seen a lot of brothers in the community speaking up, speaking out. And I said, you know what? It's time that I chime in on this, because this dude is leading a lot of people astray. Straight up. Because I don't give a damn what you say about the rap industry. I don't care what you say about what goes on in these streets. And I don't care what you say about the poverty that the people deal with and the ills of society. Listen, that's no new trick. The conscious community been talking about the ills in our community, how bad we have it. Y'all like to operate on emotionalism. Y'all like to talk about the single mother whose son, you know, before he learned how to read, he out there selling dope and being used by the streets. Y'all like to use these stories. Y'all like to use them to gain the emotions of the people, but really y'all just about a bag. That's really what it is. Because if you're not going into them scriptures, you're not going into any solutions.
As good as our ancestors was as slaves, nigga, them people never became hateful. So you mean to tell me whatever God these mother and Hebrews serve, that God is still punishing black children from something 2,000 years ago?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of disrespect, this man is disrespecting the Most High, the God of all gods, right before everybody's face. To answer Charleston White's question, the answer is yes. The Most High God is punishing those who can't get it right. That's why it's our job to break these generational curses. This is the reason why the Most High put men of valor, teachers, those with courage, those who understand the Bible, those men of the faith to teach the word, so our people can break those generational curses so they can stop happening, right? But what's happening right now is Charleston White is standing in the way of that, and he's feeding off the people's anger. He's feeding off of their resentment. He's feeding off the people's pain, and he's making people hate God. Imagine this. This man is on a platform. I think he got over 300,000 views in a day. He's on this platform straight up disrespecting the God of all gods. He don't even realize how dangerous it is what he's doing. He ain't got to worry about me going back and forth with him, or any Hebrew going back and forth with him, because we tend to say what we say and we're done with it. But what you got to worry about is the Creator. He can stop your heart in a blink of an eye, in a twinkle of an eye. And I'm going to tell you, for this type of talk, better believe he is going to pay you a visit, bro. The Most High God is going to pay you a visit, and it's not going to be pretty, bro. Listen, he's going to laugh at your calamity. When it's your day of judgment, your day of reckoning, every word, the Bible says, every idle word that comes out of your mouth, you will be judged for it. You are playing the fool right now, and you're going to get a very foolish reward. You're just playing a dangerous game, bro. You don't disrespect the Creator. And if you got all the answers, if your family on the right track, then you shouldn't be complaining about any curses, because guess what? You led by example with your family, and those curses are broke off your children. You don't have to worry about that. You don't hear, I'm an Israelite who's been teaching for years now. You don't hear me dwelling on curses. Why? Because I dwell more so on breaking the curses. Because that's what it's about. That's the time we in. We in the age of ascension. Not dwelling on no damn curses. Right?
Why are black Hebrews the only one with this knowledge and saying it's a 12 tribes of Judah? You don't hear Mexicans saying that shit?
Why are Hebrews? Listen, for one, this is a misconception, and I got to clear this up. There's no such thing as the 12 tribes of Judah. You have the 12 tribes of Israel. Kanye West came up. He said something along the lines of 12 tribes of Judah, and people just ran with it. And let me make this clear. And I'm going to say this, and let me let it be known. Kanye West, the artist formerly known as Kanye, Ye, and Kyrie Irving are being used, whether they know it or not, to soften the blow of this truth. Because they're not informed. They're not well informed. Since they're not well informed, they are basically being used to take away the power of the truth because they're uninformed, but they're on the forefront. So because they can sow seeds and plant seeds of confusion, in a sense, they're being used, whether they know it or not. That's why I'm always preaching that you got to have discretion and discernment. You got to know how to extract information, take the meat, spit out the bones. Because if you're following these celebrities and you still in a spirit of idolatry, you're going to miss the mark, right? You're going to miss the entire mark. So let me put that out there. Secondly, the reason why we the ones who know this knowledge is because it was prophesied that we will wake up, that the nation of Israel would remember who they are, that in the land, the Bible says in the land where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, it will be said unto them, ye are sons of the living God. So it was prophecy that we would go through this time of enlightenment. The book of Thessalonians tell us that in this time, that knowledge will increase amongst the men. The Bible also says our young men will have dreams, our old men will have visions, and we will begin to awaken from our slumber. So that's why we have the knowledge, because we've been chosen, we've been sealed. You don't understand this because you're part of the 2/3. So you grew a hatred. You grew a hatred for the 1/3. And this is what's happening with the 2/3. This is how they think. If you want to understand the mentality of the 2/3 and why they're so dangerous, why you got to remove yourself from certain individuals in your life, this is their mentality. They hate you, brothers and sisters. They feel like you think you better than them. They feel like that every time you're around, their weakness is being exploited. You force them to look at themselves. They become disgusted with themselves. There's a level of shame there when the righteous speak that truth. I'm telling you, when we, even as content creators and teachers and preachers, when we be speaking that truth, it's a level, listen, it's a level of condemnation that goes through the 2/3. So they always listening. That's the crazy part. The 2/3 are always listening. They always watching y'all, but they hate y'all at the same damn time. This is how these people operate. And everybody watching this stream need to pound the like button. If you gain an edification, let's get it. Let the algorithm know what it is. Pound that like button. It's 1,000 people over here. It should be 1,000 likes. Y'all know they play games on my platform. I'm making some of the best content on YouTube. They just don't send the notifications out. They love to play with my channel because ain't nobody really giving it up the way I'm giving it up. So do your due diligence.
You don't hear Puerto Ricans, you don't hear Dominicans. Why are these dumbass American black people the only ones saying this, my nigga?
You know, the interesting part is this dude is very uneducated. It's just so. Let me tell you something. You got the Igbo tribes. You got the Ashanti tribes. You got the Limba tribes. You got, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you got tribes of Israel who've been upholding the law, statutes, and commandments for centuries now. So the level of ignorance coming out this man's mouth is just, it's sickening to me that he don't know that his people are spread all over the world. Not just American blacks, not just the quote unquote tribe of Judah or Yehuda, the Yehudians. No, all over the world, there's people who've been customary and their practices. They been knew that they were Israelites. It's like you know nothing. You know absolutely nothing, bro. And it's funny listening to it because you know how many people who are watching this platform taking this for fact. They're literally taking it for fact. That's crazy.
But they can't show us. Show us who we are, nigga. Because we don't believe it by you telling us. When we go online and see what we see.
When we go online and see people like you. It's hard to believe that we are the chosen people when we go, when people log in and they see you. It is hard for people to believe. It's hard to show people. Matter of fact, you in the way of us showing people because we're claiming to be a royal people. We claiming to be a royal bloodline of people with some morality and level of standards. And people get online and they see you and they like, hell no, y'all not chosen people. Chosen for what?
When you niggas won't stand up to the industry, you niggas won't stand up to.
Here we go. Here we go. This is called double talk, double speech. He's talking about brothers standing up to the industry. When more than likely, this brother works for that industry. Now, I done heard this brother say some things that only a plant, an industry plant can get away with saying. I done heard him on record talking about, yeah. F them people, you know, the people that'll cancel you. F them people. Yeah. He was on the docket talking about hell Hitler. That was him. That was him doing that. That was him. And he ain't been canceled. So that should make people ask, like, what industry you talking about exactly? Not to mention, man, let me say this. And let me make this clear. The problem with a lot of our people is they don't have no damn wisdom. Why would we destroy ourselves before we even build ourselves up? Why would I get on social media and blast a certain demographic of people when we have more problems in our own community than the industry? There's more problems in our own. I don't care what a person's religious beliefs are. I don't care if they attend a synagogue or not. That has nothing to do with what goes on in our community. It seems like we're our own worst nightmare. So while we're trying to shoot for the stars and knock the industry down, I'm beginning to think for a lot of you individuals, that's simply that's a cloak that y'all wear. That y'all some freedom fighters trying to tear down the damn industry. How could you be trying to tear down a damn industry, but at the same time you tearing down God's chosen people? How?
How bizarre.
It's bizarre, people. How could you try to tear down an industry against a certain demographic of people that you just named when the children of Israel of the book, you're tearing them down? That doesn't make much sense, man. It's weird. So y'all got to stop falling for the charades and the smoke and mirrors, man. This got plant written all over it. Seriously. And let me make this clear. Let me say this too before I start this video back up. He talks a lot about the music industry and the hypocrisy that goes on with a lot of these artists, which I agree with some of his talking points. I can say this now. My music ain't evil. You got people out here who put out music on their own. We don't get the support that we should get. And some of our music, we speak and turn down the industry. And I'm going to say this on record. If y'all go listen to New Breed, The System Is a Joke, and then you go listen to Lil Boosie, Rocket Man, you tell me what song is better. I'm not in the industry, but you tell me what song is better. Now, the reason I made that direct comparison is because that's a song with Little Boosie using Takeoff to basically take off, right? But my song, on the other hand, is actually seeking justice. Listen to the two songs. You tell me what's better. Go listen to Lil Boosie Rocket Man, then go listen to New Breed The System Is a Joke. You can't tell me I ain't better than most of these artists. That's mainstream. But I'm not gonna ever get the respect. I'm not gonna ever get the notoriety. I'm not gonna ever get the success I deserve for the music that I put out. You know why? Because I'm actually going against the industry. I'm speaking against the industry. And that's a fact. Devon Adams, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says, take heed, brethren, lest that any man spoil you. He says that any of you an evil heart of unbelief. Okay. And departing from the living Elohim. Yep. Hebrews 3:12. This dude is wicked and will be a stumbling block for a lot of people. He absolutely will. He definitely will. A straight up stumbling block. Let's continue.
That's promoting, propagating, glorifying, pushing detriment and destruction by way of lyrical content. And if you believe that Bible, you know rapping, nigga, is the greatest force of a demonic force known to man.
That's BS right there. What is he talking about? They've been rapping since the beginning of time, believe it or not. Poetry and wordplay has always been here. The thing is, righteous music don't get to support because 2/3 of our people want to hear wickedness. That's why the hip hop industry is able to do what they do. It's our people who support it. It's people. The crazy part is, it's people like you who actually support the hip hop. 2/3. So you bugging, bruh. You bugging. It ain't nothing wrong with being a rapper. It's something wrong with the lyrical content they put out. But we can't act like righteous music and righteous hip hop don't exist. The people just don't support it. They don't support it. Cujo, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says New Breed's music is lit. Thank you, family. I appreciate that. Let's continue.
If you believe that Bible, Hebrew, I don't believe nothing you can read, homie, about God.
He don't believe nothing you can read about God. This is the guy. This is the guy who warrants all the media attention. He don't believe nothing. Let me think about that. He don't believe nothing that you can read about God. I don't think this brother reads anything. I don't think this brother reads books, period. But let's go.
I don't believe nothing you can read about God. How you gonna tell me about God something you, me, or now mother talking have ever seen or spoke to?
So we dealing with an atheist here. Okay, let's go.
How you gonna tell me about God?
Yo, this is an angry man right here. He's angry. I don't know what happened to this brother, but he's an angry person. The Bible tells us in Romans 12:17, recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Also, in Ephesians 4:31, it says, let all bitterness and wrath and anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. Whatever bitterness, whatever you harboring, whatever malice, whatever contempt, whatever's in this brother's heart, I'm going to tell you right now, he's taking that out and he's projecting that on the people. He's projecting it on the wrong people. You projecting this on people who are honestly trying to find God, bro. People who are trying to change their lives. People who are reading scriptures. People who are really people who have been through hell and back, man. People who are getting ostracized and isolated from their family because they reading this word. You talking about people who I'm talking about people who didn't came from occult families who have unplugged, people who was born being abused, who need healing. You condemning people who seeking a life change, man. They reading that book and they changing their lives. These the people you choose to make an enemy. These the people you choose to target. You choose to target God-fearing people, man. You don't get no more wicked and disgusting than this. You targeting people who've been through enough already, then to have you out here projecting against people who just want to follow the word, man. You got to understand, Charleston White should know the Christian church, they didn't listen. They didn't pretty much fleece the flock. They didn't took from our grannies and our aunties. They done made a lot of them cold. They done a lot. The Hebrews have brought light to the situation. The Hebrews have actually basically showed you what the Christian church was doing to help break the spell that our aunties, grandmothers, sisters, and brothers was under. The Hebrews are responsible for making sure the pastor ain't able to fleece the flock no more, man. Because he's been a pimp, a crook with a book in the church out here taking from our people. If it wasn't for the Hebrews, they still will be in first place. They losing traction. People are leaving the Christian church by droves. Why? Because people like myself and others are speaking up and speaking out. And these the individuals you choose to target. Why didn't you use your platform and reach out to the Hebrews? When you seen IUIC strong in number, if you was really about something, why get online and disrespect them brothers like that? When if you really about something, you could have reached out and networked. You could network with any content creator if you really want change and you want to use your platform to promote some change in this world. But instead, you want to exploit righteous people. You want to exploit God-fearing people. You want to exploit people who want to teach truth. You want to exploit people who want to make changes in their lives. What is wrong with these individuals? That should be nowhere near cool in these YouTube streets. The mockery that he's done, this is just wicked, man. Straight up.
Based on your personal comprehension, everything that a preacher preaches, everything that a religious leader speaks out of his mouth is based on their own personal reading comprehension. I don't believe that a man is telling me about a God.
So why not open a book and read it for yourself, sir? It's common sense. That's why the Bible itself says, study to show thyself approved. Nobody's asking you to believe anything. Each and every man should be opening that book himself and seeing what's in it. It's simple.
Show me a Jesus. Show me a Prophet Muhammad. Show me a Gandhi. Show me a motherfucker that can't read, but that can write a Quran. Show me.
Now, he just made a point there. Muhammad could not read, and he somehow, quote unquote, wrote the Quran. Now, when you educated on history, you will understand the hypocrisy in that. You will understand the misnomer in regards to that situation. Number one, and let me put this out here, the Quran is plagiarized. It wasn't until Muhammad visited Judea and met up with they called them black Christians at the time. That's what they label them as in the books. You can read this in Babylon and Timbuktu, and this source is also in various other literature. But it wasn't until he visited Judea where he came up with the whole one God theory. It wasn't until he came in confines with our people and had conversations with the children of Israel before he became monolithic or serving one God. Beforehand, the Nation of Islam was Persian mythology. You could do your research on this. They was worshiping pots, pans, spoons, cups, all kind of idols. They practiced idolatry. That's what the Nation of Islam was about before they plagiarized the Bible. It's impossible for a person who's illiterate to write a book. All they did was they plagiarized our God. And the only difference is Muhammad made himself Christ. That's why I don't follow Islam. I read the Quran before. It's full of hypocrisy. It's full of matter of fact, I would go as far as to say the Quran actually promotes the Bible because it tells you that the chosen people in the Quran, it tells you that the chosen people came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So this is why we read from the Bible, right? Now, if you part of the Muslim faith and you offended, listen, it is what it is. Do your research. Go back and fact check me. If I'm wrong, you'll know it, right?
Show me a motherfucker that can raise the dead. Don't tell me about a motherfucker. Show me. My mama showed me. My mama showed me a God to hold on to.
So basically, this is female worship. This is what this is. He worships the dead. He worships the woman. And listen, this is a belief system in itself, and a lot of people don't understand that. Worshiping your mama as God is a belief system. It more so leans towards an Egyptian belief system. So everybody believes something, whether they believe it or not. You understand what I just said? Everybody believes something, whether they believe it or not. This is female worship. The Queen Mother of Heaven. This is an ancient practice, and he don't even realize what he's saying is an ancient practice. So while you condemning somebody else's beliefs, you out here worshiping your mama. You worshiping the mother goddess. Telling you, everybody believes something, whether they believe it or not.
So, nigga, if you can't show me what my mama showed me, nigga, if you can't love me unconditionally like my mother, emotional damage.
I'm sorry, y'all, but you got to be kidding me, bro. Charleston White wants you to love him like his mama loved him. He's mad at you brothers, you Israelite brothers. He's mad at y'all for teaching the world, what's the deal and teaching your people who they are. He's mad at y'all for blowing the shofar because he got a little bit of
emotional damage.
And he want you brothers to show him some damn motherly love. You brothers ain't got enough motherly love. Apparently this is his issue. This is his issue. He wants you to love him like his mama do. Wow.
Does according to how they say God love us, you can't tell me about no motherfucking God, mother. Emotional damage. How was
Your man looking for love in all the wrong damn places, man. That's the issue. And there's a lot of men out here that got some serious mama issues. Man, there's a lot of men out here who need to grow the hell up. Their mama shouldn't be the centerpiece of their life, their entire life. It got to come a time when you grow some kahunas. Understand that God is a man. God is a man. All right. So God don't really deal with your emotions like that. That's what we got the Holy Spirit for, the nurturing side. But God, he's a man of war. God is logical. God is God. His word is just. His judgments, just. God ain't to be played with. God is straight up. God is the Father of heaven. See, the issue is these men worship the mother goddess. They worship Queen Shiva. They go as far in Islam, they stick their head in a Kaaba stone in Mecca shaped like a woman's vagina, like literally. These men be worshiping women. They're not alpha. There's no alpha in them. There's no guidance because they don't look at the Father. Right. Absolutely, Nuglet. It says that divine female worship, that matriarchal from the fallen ones, because they were born human women, they worship them. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Divine female worship. It's a matriarchal practice. And this is a real belief system. And people not catching on to it. But this is what he does. He's a woman worshiper, and y'all don't see it. He's worshiping a deity. So while he's condemning the Bible, he's one of those, the black woman is God type of men, which makes him emotional, which makes him a beta. And this is why so many people gravitate towards him, because a lot of y'all suffer from
emotional damage.
And that's what a lot of these content creators, they like to feed off of that. They don't like to help repair you and help to lead you to something that's stern, that's going to get you in the right direction. They don't want you men to be in leadership. No, they want to string along and hit you in on an emotional level. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
You can't love me unconditionally like you say God do, but my mother does.
I don't. I can't do this shit, bro. That's just too much, bro. This is just too much here. Let's go. But listen, the title is He Goes In on Hebrews. He ain't go in on a damn thing. He just exposed himself.
So whatever God that woman tell me about, that's the God I want. Because she done showed me.
Whatever God she tell you about, that's the God she want. Well, what God did she tell you about? Because it seemed like you done idolized her and put her up as a God.
The Hebrew niggas can't show us, my nigga.
But your mama showed you. So why your mama ain't teaching the whole world? Why she not on the podium on the pulpit? Because she got all the answers, according to you, right?
Show us this power, nigga, in numbers in the community, not at that white boy stadium.
I mean, they actually did show us power in numbers because they was out there and they was deep. If IUIC ain't show us anything, they showed us that they got power in numbers. They got numbers. If they ain't showed us anything, they showed us that, even though I disagree with how they used it. I disagree that they went to the Barclays Center. I'm actually in agreement with Charleston White when it comes to that. I just don't think it was well thought out, but I could be wrong. I'm not in a church, so I'm not going to speak ignorantly. But from the outside looking in, it looked like a clout chase, and that's what I see. It looked like a clout chase to me. But all in all, what are you looking for? Are you looking for these men to be mother figures? I don't get it. He said he want them to show up in the community. Let's hear them out here. Let's go.
Show us this power, nigga, in numbers in the community, not at that white boy stadium. Come to the community, nigga, when a nigga kill a nigga, and show us 200 niggas. Stand around the family that's burying somebody, nigga, and show me 200 niggas and cry with them people, nigga.
And cry with them people.
Emotional damage.
He wants all of these grown-ass men who marching. He wants them to go to the community and cry me a river, cry me, oh, cry me a river. He wants you men. This is what he just said. He went y'all to rob white women, snatch purses, flip cars over, block entrances, to he want all you grown ass men in the Israelite community to go down into the streets and cry with the people.
How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre.
This is your leader. I told y'all that they feed off emotionalism. With a lot of these content creators, without emotionalism, they are nothing, bro. Let me explain this. Let me explain why New Breed Global Truth ain't one of the biggest platforms on YouTube. Because I'm a man. That's why. Because I'm logical. Because I don't get on here trying to strum up emotionals. I've been told that I'm not emotional enough. I've been told that by people close to me. You're not emotional. You're not emotionally codependent enough. You really are stern. I'm a very stern person. That's why I'm not popular, because people are emotional. They want you to trigger their emotional. They want you to hit them on a I don't know. They want you to hit them on a beta level, on a weak level. They want you to trigger some emotion. That's not what I am. Logic. Be a damn man. That's not how men conduct themselves. You want them to come down and cry. You know how many ladies in the chat, in the comment section, probably thought he just said something powerful. He said, yeah, these leaders should come down and cry with us. That's powerful, right? You know how many people felt, I mean, they literally fall for this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very interesting. He wants y'all to come down and cry, man. That's something for you right there. It's what he want from you Hebrews. This is your issue with the Israelites. Let me hear this again.
Our nigga numbers in the community, not at that white boy stadium. Come to the community, nigga, when a nigga kill a nigga, and show us 200 niggas. Stand around the family that's burying somebody, nigga, and show me 200 niggas and cry with them people, nigga.
So let me get this right. You want IUIC to send 200 people down to the community after there's some black on black violence that takes place, and you want them to cry. Well, how about this? I like to critically think, and I kind of understand what you mean by basically fighting against the black on black crime opposed to marching to the Barclays Center. Let's say I agree with that. I believe that we should rid our communities of the killers, the thieves, the drug dealers, and those who are basically out here doing countless crimes and crimes that are against our people. I believe that as people, as a nation of people, if we want to survive, we got to get rid of those people. We are in agreement with that. But sir, them coming down to the community after a black man guns down another black man, what's going to end up happening, how that's going to be labeled and looked at, is basically that graveyard chasers, just like BLM. That's how, logically speaking, that's how people going to look at it. And also, let me add this. I don't think there's any solutions in going down and crying with the people. Because when you look at that on TV, that don't look like somebody with solutions. That look like somebody who's trying to make $1 off the death of somebody. That's what it's going to look like. In hindsight, that's what it would look like. If IUIC went down a community, cameras was out, 200 people, and they were talking about senseless death, and they were crying with the family, it would look like that they're just trying to chase a graveyard and make a bag, just like Reverend Jesse Jackson. And then you have people condemning them for that. So really, they can't win in this situation. When you really put it in hindsight, They cannot win in that situation. But what we can do as a nation, right? What IUIC possibly can do, and I'm just speaking, is they can start going to these city council meetings. Hell, why not hold all the people accountable? How about everybody start going to the city council meeting, seeing who the governor is, seeing about getting more police presence in your community? How about we all start looking at local politicians and seeing what type of laws they're going to pass? How about everybody's responsible? How about that? Because it's like you looking for these people to be your savior when only Christ can save our people. We all got to play a part. That's what you missing.
An NBA player, a scare ass NBA player that got to do like every other nigga, including them niggas who take off on their job, nigga, and submit to their coward nature when they clock in at work. Cause they ain't talking Hebrew on the job. Develop a Hebrew church, nigga, that's bigger than the Jew church. Other than that, man, these niggas just talking, homie. And
Now let's go back to what he said towards the end here. Let's break it down.
On a nigga and cry with them people, nigga. An NBA player, a scare ass NBA player that got to do like every other nigga, including them niggas who take off on their job, nigga, and submit to their
Now again, excuse me. There's certain things I'm in agreement with. Could it have been a better cause that they marched for? Yes. But would it have warranted the same amount of attention? No. Excuse me. So it's safe to say that IUIC was strategic. All eyes was on Kyrie Irving. They did it for whatever reason because that's what the world was looking at. They were being strategic. Maybe they wanted some clout. Maybe they wanted attention on their church. Maybe they looked at it as an opportunity to get more members. Who knows? But they chose that moment to do what they did, right?
Our nature when they clock in at work. Because they ain't talking Hebrew on the job. They ain't talking Hebrew on the job.
Excuse me, y'all. Had to excuse myself for a moment. Now, the things that he's vouching for and hooping and hollering and shouting for, does it really matter? They ain't speaking Hebrew on the job. You know what I'm saying? Why they ain't pushing to speak Hebrew at the job? That doesn't matter. Listen, as a nation, we should be talking about building our own economy. The reason why they took Martin Luther King out is not because the I Had a Dream speech. A lot of people don't know Martin Luther King was talking about Black economics and how to bring our people together. That's what really needs to be talked about. Supporting one another. Like these little things here, why we not building a big old church? Do you really seriously think a big church that's bigger than one of the synagogues? Do you really believe that that's the solution to our problems as a people? How is that going to solve our plight? We got, you know how many cathedrals and churches we got? Jamal Bryant Church is huge out here in Atlanta, and he using it to deal drugs. So what are we talking about here? Some of the matters that you want to fight for, it's irrelevant. But because you hooping and hollering about it, and you've already triggered the people's emotions, they believe that's something relevant. Nothing he just said was relevant. None of it. Like nothing the man just said was relevant. Well, we need to, as a nation, we need to be establishing an economy, which that's what we're doing over here with New Breed in conjunction with the UNI, United Nation of Israel, in conjunction with with New Breed and Kingdom Magazine. That's what we're doing on newbreed.love. We're actually stimulating an online economy. You know, we're actually trying to get our people to look at ourselves as a nation opposed to a religious group or a church. That's what we're doing. That's the work that I put in. You understand? Actually creating identification cards for our nation opposed to taking their identification cards, going through the procedures to get our ID cards actually respected. And some of them are already being able to be used so we can have our own identity, because I think a lot of people don't understand how important identity is when establishing yourself as a nation. That's one thing that we missing that nobody doing. Actually establishing ourselves and our identity as a nation. But you standing in the way of that because you disrespecting Hebrews and claiming that we not our nation. We found our identity. Now we got to establish our identity, because with our identity comes power. Because the same people that you blasted, the same red media you just blasted, they gained everything by doing what? Stating claim to who we are. By stating claim to our identity. So now we need our identity back so we can gain the entire world. So you see how counterproductive it is. You basically firing shots and targeting people who want to follow God's laws. It's counterproductive, bro. And you're out of pocket. You're way out of pocket. You way out of bounds. That emotionalism and all of that, listen, that ain't going to work on men of Yah. You out here tweaking. At the end of the day, this is the only video I'm ever going to speak on ever in life regarding this clown. You'll never hear me do another video on this dude. If you watch this video and you choose to be entertained, that's on you. I'm not here to tell you who to follow or what to follow, but just know that you're dealing with high levels of Satanism, mother goddess worship. You're dealing with high levels of weirdo behavior when you over there watching that content. And if you watching that and you don't have the spirit of discernment and discretion while you watching it, all of that rhetoric that you see as entertainment, he's actually spewing his ideology on you and you don't even see it. You fighting in the spirit, trying to fight off and ward off his demons. You actually taking on demons, even watching this dude, because he's saying so much evil at one time that you got to push and fight it to find out what's true and what's false. Listen, I'm part of the 1/3. I'm part of the elected. Straight up. And I hope y'all are part of the elected. Be a part of the ones who are going to honor God's law, statutes, and commandments. Stay claim to your identity. We are the children of Israel. The hell with this dude talking about. We ain't feeding into these unclean spirits and these weirdos. Your days are numbered because you didn't blaspheme the Most High to no end. You basically put a target on your back from the Creator. And then when his people start proclaiming it, better believe it's set in stone, because the Bible says, the Most High says he revealeth nothing to this earth until he reveal it unto his prophets first. Your days are numbered. You better stop playing with the Most High's people and stop playing with our God, because he will be paying you a visit. Straight like that. Hopefully y'all gain edification from this broadcast. If you did, pound the like button, share it. Turn your notification on so you can get videos as they're being uploaded. Also, ladies and gentlemen, support my work at newbreed.love. Consider becoming a Patreon. I got content coming there soon. Thank each and every one of y'all. I want y'all to have a blessed afternoon. More content coming soon. With that being said, shalom and peace.